Hi, how's it going? This. Hey, Tula. Okay. You know what is like really inspiring me and lighting me up right now is I have a friend who, hello, I have a friend who like just got a part-time job while she's building her business. And I am super curious if that has worked successfully for anybody without like putting a ton of work in self-care and putting a ton of investment in their self-care and putting a ton of like thought into their self-care. Because I worked two very thankless jobs this last year. I worked two like really exhausting, excruciating jobs. And I kept telling myself like I'm going to build my business on the side. And they were way too exhausting for that. So there just comes a time when you kind of have to say enough is enough and you have to kind of like go all in on yourself. And I don't know how people do it. Like they must have a perfect job where like their boss. Is that better? Um that's something that I'm thinking about a lot lately is like how can somebody manifest their dream job while the current job that they're working they don't like. And it always requires a leap of faith and like deep nervous system regulation and belief system rewiring. I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so what situation is your friend in? Or like what situation are you in? Because the belief that like I'm going to save enough money so that I can quit has never worked for anybody that I know. At least not in this day and age. With the way that like pay stubs are set up right now, I have a friend who works a corporate job that makes pretty good money, and she keeps saying like I'm saving up to quit and just like kind of live and like figure my stuff out. And I know from experience that that just is just not how the universe works. I feel like I've never gotten to actual corporate job equal to my education experience and value. Yeah, me neither. I have gotten jobs that were really close, that were very creatively fulfilling, but I've never felt like my efforts were maximized. And there's ways that you can position your resume and your job interview skills to really maximize your like your creative gifts. Like I don't have a degree in writing; I have a degree in psychology, but I've been able to manifest two high-paying writing jobs, like creative jobs. Um, I have kind of mixed myself into the fit in the corporate face and never been my full self online. That's interesting. I wonder why you think that is. Like, what does that mean? Because I know what that feels like to like work a job and then feel like you need to kind of maintain your identity in that job and not be able to like fully express yourself online. But I've gotten to a point in my life where like I am so like my presence online, like who I am on the internet is like who I am in real life. Because who I am in my corporate jobs, former corporate jobs, is not really me. It was just like me trying to fit into a box. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for the likes. Um, it was such an uphill battle to like the hardest times in my life have been when I'm working a job and I'm trying to find something. Hold up. I have been told my astrology and tarot digital footprint keeps me from a six-figure corporate job. I don't feel like that's true. Or that might be true for somebody. But the thing that I know about belief systems is that they are balls of energy in our aura. A belief system is subjective to anybody. Like we know this, like two people disagree on something. It's just what makes us interesting, right? Like that two people can do something differently. Everybody's beliefs are true and everyone's beliefs are not true. Um, Beliefs are true to the person who hold them, but they can be released so easily. Isn't that like kind of fickle to be like, okay, well, that's a belief and it's just not true? So, someone saying that your astrology and digital blueprint is capping your income is a limiting belief. Like when I say it's limiting, it means is it serving you because you want a six-figure corporate job, I assume. I would say that the deeper truth behind that, not that you asked Tula, but like I'm just riffing here, is that the mental like to feeling like they're separate is probably what's holding you back. Bot vibes. What bot? Yeah, cunt bug. I'm the opposite. I'm a Capricorn. Okay. Yes. So believing that your witchiness is holding you back from a higher paying job is like the limiting belief that I want to absolutely destroy. I know what it feels like when your brain feels like it's split and compartmentalized, and we feel like we have to be compartmentalized. Oh, hi. I have been turned down for jobs on my digital footprint. I was talking to about a friend. I guess the question for me here is like, do you want that job? Hi. Do you want the job where you have to squash down your witchy self? Or if it is really important to you, if you really want to keep those things compartmentalized, because I used to do this when I had a spicy internet personality that none of you guys know about. I want the six figures. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, also saying I want the six figures, is that rooted in a corporate job? Like, is that the only way to make a corporate? Is that the only way to make a salary? Is that the only way to make six figures? Is in a in a corporate job? Because not that this is everyone's experience, but I'm going to speak to mine. I have never felt more broke. As far as the fastest, yes, I understand. Fastest to okay. It's like there's ways around this. Like you never have to just like stop being witchy or stop being expressive because you want a corporate job. And what I'm really hoping here, Tula, in your situation, is that you want this job. That you want the job. Because the thing about six figures, a six-figure corporate job, is that you have to do the corporate job. Like that's just the way it is. So I hope that the carrot is exciting for you to go out and get, and it's worth putting down your like maybe moving your witchy side hustle, like changing the name, changing not changing the name, but like I have gone by alter egos before because I didn't want any of my work to find. Thank you. Hello. Yeehaw. Thanks, Victoria. Um, um, I have moved that aside, and there's been times where I was like, that was the right thing to do, and then there was times where I was like, that did not feel good. And I like as far as I've had friends saying like you need to I had friends who were like, I'm saving up to quit my job. That is not enough of a carrot. It's not enough of a juicy, exciting carrot to really take that action. Like we're not going to change our actions in our careers unless the carrot is so incentivizing and the stick is something that I've said enough is enough, right? Thank you, Carol. Because I have been in this situation. I've told myself a million times when I was younger that the do it because it lights you up. Yep. Like what is that thing that you're like, I will not rest until I have this thing. I will not rest until I have this thing. Um, I will do whatever it takes. And also sometimes, to be completely honest with you guys, sometimes you need a stick behind you, like a fire under your butt, that you are like so grateful for. Like I'm so grateful for this stick poking me in the back, this fire under my butt, because it's pushing me towards the thing that lights me up. Because it's just a human truth that we only do the same thing that we did yesterday. Like we only do what we know gets us to survive. So if you have paid your bills one way your whole life, you know in your head, like, that's the way that we survive. That's the way that we receive love. That's the way that we pay our bills. Doing it a different way, getting a different job, being in a different industry, being an entrepreneur, being a side hustler, whatever that thing is hard because it takes a rewiring of the brain. It doesn't take time, it only takes intention. Rewiring your brain for a better job does not take time, it only takes intention. Because time is subjective. I learned this in hypnosis school, and I've learned this in my own like real life. When we say something's going to take a long time, I wonder according to who. Because beliefs can be shifted out of your body fast. You can change your belief system overnight. You can with like a hypnosis, like you guys are off to the races in like 20 days, like depending on how deeply ingrained that belief is and how much the people around you are what's the word? Validating that. Like if the people around you like I'm gonna be completely honest here. If the people around you like ain't shit, like if they're validating this belief that life sucks and our boss is out to get us, and there's just like no way, nothing ever works out for me. Like if they're validating that opinion, then that opinion is going to be very deeply ingrained in you. But if you ever like, you ever find yourself just like changing your opinions around people who like don't have the same opinion, it's just that easy to be around different people. And oftentimes when I apply for a job that I really, really want and I have a lot of imposter syndrome around it and I get there and my brain is like, oh my gosh, you're an imposter, you can't do this. But then I'm around my new coworkers who like are accepting and also probably went through the same thing at some point when they got started. Being around different energy and different people just like is the game changer for me. Like it really it changes everything for me. I'm in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great networker, though. By the way, guys, LinkedIn is a really great place to be if you want a new job. You can just be your whole self on LinkedIn. Hello, how's it going? I just feel like one of the most exhausting stages of my life have been when I'm in a situation where I'm like in a job I don't like, and I'm like, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Like I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna I'm gonna save up to quit. I'm working on this. I'm working on that. Like after I get home and do my dishes and clean up at 10:30 at night, I'm gonna apply for jobs. The last thing that you want to do after a hard day at work is applying for jobs, especially when people start telling themselves like, "Hi, Tina," especially when people tell themselves like it's not that bad. That's what you start to tell yourself. That's like Stockholm syndrome when you're like, it's just not that bad. Like, okay, my job's not that bad. It's not that bad. Everyone who I've ever met who's been like, oh, I'm still here. It sucks. And they lowered my pay and my boss screamed at me and all that kind of stuff, but it's not that bad. Um, I'm struggling with this. Yeah. Hi, Tina. Welcome. I was in that boat for years. There's two things that it really takes to get out of this. It's nervous system rewiring, self care. Oh, hello. Hi. Nervous system rewiring, and audacity. Like, there have been two instances in my life where I applied for a new job. I was in a round of interviews with a new job while I was on my old one. And the interview went so well that I quit my old one that day. And I ended up getting the job. So, like, it was fine. But I did take like this huge leap of faith. And the leap of faith doesn't always necessarily mean that. But in this economy, like, the advice that you're getting about, like, make sure you have a new job in hand before you quit your old one. Like, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. It just doesn't work like that. Like, oh, I almost said that and then they ghosted me. I, I, like, I'm really into the energy of career and the energy of money and the energy behind the job interview process. Like, that is like my obsession in life. And there's a few things that could be going on, but the fact of the matter is, like, without kind of really getting in there and like like really getting to know the whole situation, the fact of the matter is you just, let them go. Like, obviously, like, I almost said that and they ghosted me. Like, I'm glad that you didn't, because I guess I have to ask you, Tina, like, if this were to be a sign from the universe, like, let's, like, humor me for a second. This is a sign from the universe. What would the universe, in all of its infinite love and desire for you to get a higher paying job, what would the universe be saying to you? Hi, Pamela. Let's say the universe loves you, right? Like, better is coming. Like, that is an empowering belief. Like, this is your time to really, I envision, like, write this down on a sticky note and put it up on your bulletin board. Like, even if it's in your mind, you're imagining this. Write this down on a sticky note, put it up on the bulletin board, and you cannot take that down. Like, that is an irrefutable belief, is that the universe loves you and wants better for you. Your guides, your deities, source, God, whatever you want. Like, this is yours, right? And it's on its way. The universe wants it for you, and it's on its way. It's just kind of up to you. Can Aphrodite help us either a ghosting pattern in work or life? Yeah, because that is definitely an energy thing. That is definitely that can be an energy thing. That can be a belief system. That can be, are you settling? Are you reaching for bare minimum? Because typically with Aphrodite, here's the thing. The thing that I've learned with Aphrodite is that when something like that happens to me, when I'm ghosted, because I get ghosted all the time now. Like, I, in my own business, I'm doing pitches. I pitch a lot, and I'm like working with clients and sending invoices and things that feel a little spicy. Yeah, I get ghosted a lot. And then I'm like, at first I'm kind of butthurt about it, but then I'm like, I give it some time and I insist on shifting this belief that it's not because I suck. Like, maybe there's ways that there's always ways to improve your resume. Like, your resume is infinitely improvable. Your website, your pitches, your cover letters, infinitely improvable. But the fact of the matter is that you can never say that the reason is because you suck and you're not good enough. They tell me I'm overqualified. Okay, Tina, this was exactly the point that I was about to make. Though every time that you get ghosted and you are like an energetic light being, you're doing the work, you're doing the nervous system work, you're refusing to believe that it's because you suck and you're not good enough and you shouldn't even try. Like, take that shit off the table. It's because you're not asking for enough. That is always the thing. For me, I used to bomb sales calls, and it was because my prices were too low. Because being overqualified they can't help but be worried that you're just going to like find something better and leave in like 2 months, and they don't want to do that. Or you're going to be unhappy and you're going to try and change everything because you're too smart for them, right? Like I actually just my last job I left because I was having great creative differences with the CEO because I was overqualified for the job. Like at first I tried to negotiate my salary to be higher, and she was like, this is the budget. And I was like, that's okay because it's a job that I wanted, right? Like so I took the lower pay. It was a job that I really wanted, and I realized that she wanted like a basic bitch social media manager and not a creative director, which has like been my experience. So I was a creative director for a luxury PR agency. My boss and I like almost killed each other on my last day. We had so many creative differences, and I walked away from that, like almost internalizing this idea that I wasn't good enough, but it was because I was overqualified for that job. I was the highest paid social media manager they've ever had, and I didn't want to be a social media manager. I wanted to be a creative director, but that was the opening that they had. And so she hired me because she liked me, and there wasn't this like corporate it was just a CEO in her like small business. So in a corporation that wouldn't have happened because a corporation would have like made sure that I checked all these boxes. But the fact is that I surpassed all the boxes because I've been a social media manager since 2017, and I had like done so much beyond like basic posting on Instagram, writing captions. Like, where were you when I was working 9 to 5? Yeah, I mean, I was probably also working at 9 to 5, or I was too scared to talk about this kind of stuff. I was too scared to talk about money. I was too scared to talk about um, jobs and careers and like using my principal teachings that I've learned of like manifestation and energy work and all the things that I used to heal myself. I realized was like spirit, Aphrodite, God, source energy trying to tell me to ask for more money. And I just went all in on like my passion, which is a coaching business, because coaching is what I'm really, really, really good at. And using my intellect and the things that other employers didn't appreciate about me in starting my own business. And it feels fulfilling. Like it's because I'm using skills that were unappreciated before, or they just didn't have money for. Like, have you ever felt like you want to hang out with your friend really bad, but your friend is like, I love you, I just don't have time for you? That's how it feels like to be underpaid. And you're like, well, if you don't have time for me, you can't squeeze me in. Like, I'm going to go hang out with someone who does have time for me. That's exactly how it is with money. I've been working for myself since 2019. Amazing. That's amazing. It's no easy, no easy feat. But I am just so the thing that gets me out of bed every day and the thing that gets me like so lit up is I'm just like so tired of seeing women be underpaid and underappreciated. Like it it didn't hit me like in a huge way until recently that typically feminine intuitive skills are not appreciated in the traditional workforce. Like we just have to push back. And so my biggest point is that if you're trying to um I'm thinking maybe I just need to do something myself, but I don't know what I'd even do. There are steps to that. I think that also saying to yourself, like when people come into my world, the number one rule that I say to them is you cannot say that you don't know. Like, and if you are saying I don't know, kind of say it in like an empowering way. Like, I don't know, it could be anything. Like it could be anything in like this exciting, like adventure kind of way. But you're your own boss, so don't let me tell you how to talk. But I would number one just like drop saying I don't know, even if you are like literally like you don't know. It's like cleaning that. Um, sorry, I just got a message from someone. Okay, yep, I've been falling into old patterns. Falling into old patterns is always an energy problem. It's always a manifestation problem. It starts in the chakras. Like if you do a chakra meditation, like we're doing right now inside of the Mystic Moneymaker, which is like my low ticket group coaching program. We are doing a chakra meditation that shows you exactly where your chakra blockages are that prevent you from living, like from like getting out of these patterns. Okay, so back to what Tina was saying. I need to do something for myself, but I don't know what I'd even do. Let life show you. The thing about your like purpose and your life purpose is that it can't be something you go out and like hunt for. It needs to reveal itself to you. How does it reveal itself to you? It might it means like I would love to know what your human design is, but that's a whole other conversation. Letting itself reveal itself to you by following your design and your energy and what you feel like you have energy for. And that could look like working at a better job. Like so when people say I hate my job, I want to work for myself, but I don't want to work for myself, knowing that working for yourself is not the only solution. Like there are jobs that give you more freedom and flexibility and money. Like those jobs exist. Also, I've been holding this little mic up. So cute. I don't know. I'm gonna put it right here. I fall into the old pattern of giving for free. Okay, I was just talking about this. I actually was making a TikTok about this, but then I just decided to go live instead. Um, why do we give things away for free? It's like the best business advice I could ever give anybody is hold the line when it comes to pricing. I just made a TikTok about this, but I did make a little TikTok, and I was gonna make another TikTok about me talking in depth, but I'll just do it now. Hold the line when it comes to pricing. It is so uncomfortable, and do the nervous system regulations that you need. That's actually what Aphrodite's Vault, my Patreon, is all about. Hold the line when it comes to pricing. Hold the line. Like, seriously, because then when people don't buy, you're going to internalize the idea as I'm not good enough, when in reality it's just that they aren't appreciating you. And this pattern is going to repeat until you really feel it and believe it, or you take someone else's word for it and just implement it and see the results. Giving things away for free, it's like it takes that other person's responsibility away from appreciating your work. Especially with coaching. I have used to give away coaching for free, or I used to do things for free or whatever. And I've just learned that that person never implemented it. They never paid attention. They never appreciated it, which in turn gets in my head. And I'm like, well, it must not be that good if they're not appreciating it, when in reality, they just weren't appreciating because they weren't appreciating it. Can you work with Aphrodite and Hera at the same time? So there are other goddesses other than Aphrodite that do what Aphrodite does. I was actually Googling this yesterday, and I was looking into it. I think that the answer is you can do whatever you want. That's my answer. However, a quick little Google search said that they didn't apparently get along. Let me see. Let me Google it. Aphrodite is Hera's aunt, and I think it's fine. Personally, I personally think that it's okay. There are mixed opinions. They both um they both were a part of ancient Roman marriage ceremonies, so I think so. I think you can work with both of them at the same time, but it's up to your discernment. I think that there's a lot of TikTok witches that kind of lie and just make stuff up. It's up to you. It's kind of like saying, can I be friends with these two people at the same time? Can I hang out with my mom and my friend at the same time? Can I hang out with my brother and my dad at the same time? It depends on the relationship. It depends on how you're cultivating it. It depends on the time that you're making space for it, right? I do think that there's just a lot of delusion in the TikTok world. People say stuff because it makes them sound like authorities. When in reality, things like deity worship, it's not a closed practice. It's not like one person rules it and you need to apply for it or anything like that. It's just whatever is serving you and your highest good is really the way that I see it. Any other questions? What questions do you guys have? Did I answer all the questions? So Tina, when it comes to not knowing what you want to do, sometimes, thank you, Vanessa, sometimes getting just a more fulfilling job is the secret, or leaning into what you are good at rather than focusing on what you're bad at your current job. That was a huge thing for me. I used to be really focused on all the things that I was bad at my current job, so of course why would I trust myself to run a business if I was so bad at my current job? You popped up for me and it just slammed me by surprise. Ta-da! I wonder, okay, what surprised you though? Like um what surprised you? That's what I want to know. um I can't, I see so many people who talk about wanting to become an entrepreneur. My current is so bad that I totally lost confidence in myself. That's a big one. That's a really big one. I would say that there's two things you can do, which is improving your self-esteem, focusing on what you're doing well at. Are your performance reviews positive? Are they giving you positive feedback? And in this day and age, I mean, I could be wrong, but from what I find from myself and my clients is that a lot of times if you're doing a good job, they just don't say anything to you. They're not firing you. That means you're doing a good job. They are average. Yeah. And that fence sitting energy is really hard to be in. What's the best way to trust your intuition and get past ego? I literally just start doing this. Tap, tap, tap on my unicorn horn. And remember that being an ego is just a place that wants to keep you safe, and it wants to keep you in comparative energy so that you are safe. Egos are not bad. They are just what keeps you honest, what keeps you in order, what keeps you like alive. So following rules, using numbers and metrics, like numbers, metrics, rules, like all those things are what we are ego, because they're what keep us safe. Like I am in this number, I make this much money, my TikTok following is this much, my I got someone texted me back 5 minutes after, like someone responded to my text in 5 minutes. Like these numerical rules and things are our ego categorizing how safe we are. And sometimes it's like that's good, right? It's like it's kind of true. So when you look at your bank account and you're like, "Ooh, that's kind of spicy," that's your ego being like, "Hey, I don't feel so safe." Acknowledging your ego and being like, "I hear you. I hear you. I don't need this piece of information right now. Like I choose to believe a different thing right now. I choose to not see my safety in the number of TikTok views I have. I choose to see my safety in not the number of job applications I get back, in not the number of like the number of numbers the pounds on the scale. Like that's your ego just trying to be like, hey, we don't feel safe. And your intuition is asking you to see things in a bird's eye view kind of way. So anything that you can do to get perspective in your life, that can be, for me, like any task or activity that literally removes me from my like current discipline and routine. Like just this morning I went rock climbing. Rock climbing to me takes me like in my intuition, because when you're rock climbing, the only thing that matters is that you're holding on and you're like physically safe. So I'm focused on my like literal physical safety, that I'm not worrying about like who said what or what TikTok's doing or what my bank account's doing. And that just gives me a sense of perspective. Also, talking to coaches, talking to people who like have perspective and who've like done what you want to do and who embody the lessons that you want to learn, that is a really great way to get perspective. um Sometimes your ego just needs to be heard, so writing down the things that your ego is saying, like what is it that you don't feel safe doing. And then also, like I will like touch my nose or I'll like tap 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 on my head when I know I'm thinking an ego-based thought. That's like not a what's the word, a band-aid, obviously. But it is something that just reminds me, like, hey, 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 like let's get back up to the pineal, like the third eye, like the frontal lobe. Now, when you talk about working with her, it was like she was saying, hey, I'm here for you too. That's how she is. The thing about Aphrodite is that she's a girly's girl. And this society has kept us so separate and so away from each other. And we've internalized this idea that success means doing it alone. Success means going at it alone. Success means strong arming it and forcing something to happen for you. When in reality, like the most feminine thing to do, like I believe that feminine energy is going to save the world. um Feminine energy says, let's get together, let's work with each other, there's no gatekeeping here. So it makes perfect sense that Aphrodite would say, hey, I'm here for you too. Got a message. Yeah, Aphrodite is awesome. I'm gonna pull a card. Let's pull a card. I got a card. I got the Muse Tarot deck. I love this deck. I use this in all of my career readings. Yep. I don't want to force people to choose me, so I'm learning to switch to choosing me. Yep. That is like, especially working for yourself, right? Like that is the number one thing that you can do, is just keep choosing yourself and release the codependency that you might have on other people choosing you. Like it's just codependency. It's a feeling that wants to be felt, because a lot of times our success and happiness is it, like I was just saying, in community, it's in other people, it's in relationships. But sometimes when we take actions that are for our highest good, we tend to scare people who are no longer in alignment with us. And you just have to trust that falling away. That no matter what you do in your community, whether you're a business owner or you're a mom or you're like a leader of sorts, like the number one thing you have to do is releasing codependency. That, I mean, I'm a mom, I have a big family, like business owner, I had to learn how to release codependency. That's why I'm blogging a day. Yep. I think that's a great practice. It's just like externalizing your thoughts, letting yourself be seen, heard, no matter what it looks like. I actually do something every now and then called the garbage post challenge, where you get a social media platform, preferably, and you post garbage once a day for 30 days. And it doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be educational, it doesn't have to be interesting, but it has to be garbage, like whatever you want to post. Because what you're doing is you're rewiring your nervous system to believe that you get to take up space, and it doesn't even have to be good. I mean, men do it, right? Like, men take up space, and they don't force themselves to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the patriarchy says, I'm here and I'm making the rules, and I don't care if they work for everyone. And you are rewiring your brain to say that you get to take up space too. And geez, my nose is itchy. Um, that's what the garbage post challenge is. So release yourself from the expectation of anything being good, and just allow your brain to rewire. Hear me roar. Period. All right, I am shuffling these cards. If anybody wants a reading, let me know. I'm going to turn on my reading option in my link in bio. So if you want me to, because I'm going to do a collective reading now. But if you want me to shut my trap and switch to talking about you and your specific question, just go to the link in my bio, and I have the option to do a personal paid reading. Okay. All right. My page. I would love one. Okay. If you'd like a personal reading, go to the link in my bio, or if you want my like Venmo or PayPal or whatever, I do those. So I'm just going to do a collective one for now. And if you want to pay me to shut up and talk about you, I will do that. Okay. Page of Voices. Oh my God. Okay. So this girl is in overthinking mode. This girl has her glasses on. She has her, she's got the, like, so much thoughts dancing in her head. And she believes that if she thinks a little bit harder, then everything will make sense. That is her belief. That is her situation, is that if she can just think a little bit harder, then things will work. And depending on the next card that I pull, I'm always curious if that's working for you. Is this energy serving you? Is being in your head serving you? Let's pull another card, shall we? Queen of Emotions in reverse. So there's a lot of energy around your emotions being pushed down in order to make room for the overthinking. It's almost as if you believe that your emotions are pushing you down your ability to think clearly. When I wonder if that's actually true, because if you want to do things that you've never done before, you have to take action that you've never taken before. And that doesn't always look like running a marathon or doing a cold shower or whatever. Sometimes it just means you need to feel your feelings. And Queen of Emotions, when upright, says that feeling your feelings is going to give you everything that you've ever ever wanted. Feeling your feelings is going to transform them from the inside and clear out any blockages. Just yesterday, I was feeling a really, really intense emotion as I was laying down. I was getting ready for bed, and I was like, what is this feeling? It feels, and I started naming the colors. This is what I highly recommend that you all do too, is name the color. It feels black. It feels like a spider. It feels like a black spider on my chest. It's like black. It's a little hairy. It's a little fuzzy. And then I was like, oh my God, it feels like the spider is moving up my neck. Because you have to ask yourself, like, what does it feel like? What does it feel like? Is it moving? Is it changing color? Even if you feel like you're being crazy and delusional, like, just go with it. And then it got to a point where I felt like the spider was on my neck. And then I was like, oh my God, it feels like I'm being choked. I'm being choked. That's the feeling that I have. It feels like I'm being choked. And as soon as I said that, I full body burst into tears. I started crying because I like pinpointed exactly what was going on energetically, was this feeling of being like silenced and choked and stopped and held back from what I wanted to do. And I just had to feel that feeling, and I just had to cry. And then I woke up this morning like, well, first I had to go rock climbing, and then I was like flooded with ideas and flooded with purpose. And I got a notification that my TikTok was trending. So, and I also had a really, really good idea for my business that I know is just going to give my customers so much more value. So I really appreciate that. And it all started with feeling my feelings. It started with naming them and just like rolling with it and going with it. And the Queen of Voices in reverse is telling me that, sorry, Queen of Emotions in reverse is telling me that you're probably due for that too. So let me pull another card. Six of Materials in reverse. Six of Materials says we can do it together. Six of Materials says that it with together we bring abundance. Like Six of Materials says get out of survival mode and ask for twice as much as you would have. Because there's nothing more demotivating than just wanting enough to get by. Like that is the energy that keeps you stuck. It's just wanting enough to get by. You can romanticize a humble lifestyle. It's actually something I talk about a lot, which is something I think is a very powerful tool, is romanticizing a humble lifestyle. Like, because for me, I don't like I live a pretty humble lifestyle. I live below my means. I definitely romanticize like the cheaper thrifty things in life, right? Because it just gives me a sense of freedom and it doesn't make me feel like overpaying for things just makes me feel like the sense of baggage, but for some people that's like what lights them up, right? And but being in the energy of what can I do to just get by? Like I'm eating ramen noodles not because I like ramen noodles, but because my mom said that that's what I should spend on this salary. Six of Materials in reverse is saying like let's get out of that. Like let's double let's like you need to think, close your eyes, ask yourself, okay, close your eyes. Ask yourself right now, what is my goal? What is my desire? Now imagine a ring being put on your finger. You are now married to that desire. What does your desire feel like? What does it feel like to be there? Now you're married to your desire. You can't take the ring off. Now double it. Now double it. That's what you should be striving for. That feeling. Not that you need to work twice as hard. That's the feeling. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna pull one more card. The Lovers. I feel like one-on-one relationships is the way that you're going to get out of this. One-on-one relationships is the way to go. Yep. It's probably okay to double your prices. Um, the reason that you might feel like nobody, like you need to give away things for free is because you feel like nobody values you. And the reason why nobody values you might be because your prices are too low. Like, I can't tell you how many times that I was going to hire somebody and then I looked at their prices and I was like, ooh, this person's a beginner. I don't want to work with a beginner. I need somebody who knows what they're doing. And that's what we're doing when we say, when our prices are too low. I feel like I'm pulling teeth. Yep. Double those prices and see what and hold the line and see what happens, because I can guarantee you that there's somebody whose readings are not as good as yours who is charging more than you. I mean, is that ethical? Are they? I don't know. Like, I don't know this person, but I guarantee that they exist. um right now is a time to hold the line. It's the time to change your prices, and hold the line, because that's how we build habit, right? Is by holding the line instead of being like, oh, just kidding. Like, you can, rewire, like, you can soothe your nervous system, you can feel your feelings, you can cry. Like, if you're on a sales call with someone and you can be like, this is the price, and they can have sticker shock and you can puke and throw up and be scared, but the fact of the matter is that the price is the price. Like, you have to hold the line, because people need to move around you. Because if you're the moving object, the constant moving object, then everything else is going to stay the same. But if you hold still and let the universe move around you, let everyone move around you, that's how energy works. Thank you for the likes. How's everybody doing? Is anybody, well, I'm open for readings. Let me shuffle my cards again. Thank you for the likes. It is just like, I'm so adamant that women just need to start making more money. Like, all of us need to start making more money. And it's just a lie that we don't want to work. We don't want to, like, give value to the world. It's just that we don't want to work in the world the way that it is right now, which is why we are going to, yeah. Okay, testimonials, reviews, like, triple those prices, man. Like, you like, if you have testimonials, like, you're not crazy. Like, you are making an impact. Underwhelmed. Interesting. Do you mean underwhelmed or overwhelmed? Because those are two very different things, but they're both not good. I mean, I get a point taken here. Like, I'm burnt out. Yep. Yep. I mean, think about how much more your skills could be somewhere else where you're appreciated and you're valued. Like, It's just about holding the line, like knowing what you're worth, and like put that on a sticky note and put it in front of your desk, put it in the bathroom where you see it every day you brush your teeth or go pee or whatever, and never taking it down. Like think about your worth and take action based off of that belief. Like hold the line. Yeah, it's a journey. I hope you're doing nervous system regulation and taking care of yourself. Okay, let me see if anybody booked any readings. Okay, nobody yet. What do you guys do for your jobs? Or what do you want to do? You can answer whichever question. Like what do you do versus what do you want to do? Sometimes we just need to breathe. Yep. I the thought of working a job and then like going home and hustling to like work more job like to um like working a job and then going home and your second job is applying, like I know that that's not going to attract a better job. Like that energy is not going to attract a better job. Like I just know that. Yeah, I have a degree in psychology and I was on track to becoming a psychiatrist because I wanted to help people. So I understand. And a lot of that is allowing yourself to be disappointed by your decision, like allowing yourself to be disappointed, allowing yourself to have your heart broken. Because I know I do a lot, but I want to focus more on my past life hypnosis. There's probably a reason for that, you know. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, okay. So like the things that I've wanted to do has changed so many times. There's actually I have a podcast episode about this about killing your dreams. It's a podcast interview with Callie Somatics. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's kind of a big deal on TikTok. I don't know. So live readings, go to the link in my bio, and that's how you book. They are $44. Um, Live reading, like if you go to the link in my bio right now, it's like the first option. I love Delightful Energy. I love that name. Yeah, diversity, equity, and inclusion is that's gotta be. I mean, that's gotta be heartbreaking. Podcasts too. Yep, podcasts are a great way to like kind of chit chat with your people and get your voice out there. And it's also kind of like a portfolio. So if someone wants to know if they want to work with you, I have a podcast too. So if you're like, if people want to know, what's the word? If people want to know more about you and kind of get your flavor, they can listen to your podcast. It's like a way that you can serve people for free. Um, Podcasting is just a great way to also like practice your storytelling and just get yourself out there. Um, I love a good podcast. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change something here. Okay. Save. Oh, they help you get your mind off stuff. Yeah, it's just like a creative thing. Remove goals. Okay. Remove the goal. Yeah. Oh my God. What exactly is a career code reading? Okay, so that's just what I call them. Career code readings is telling me you ask a specific question. So um, once your question comes through, I'm able to start getting answers. So once payment and a question goes through, I'm able to start getting answers about your career and how, like, what's your next steps. It's just basically a career reading as it pertains to Venusian. So it's a Venusian career code, meaning how can we get you to work less and live in more alignment for more money, basically, is like what I am really, really passionate about helping you with. So when I say Venusian career code, I mean, what is your next step? What is like your next code to a more Venusian type career, a more Venusian feeling career? Thank you. I do too. I have to just update my. The picture went away. Where'd you go? Here we are. Gotta put Aphrodite back on there. Come on, girly. Oh, okay. Does anybody want a reading? Because I might have to only take one right now. If anybody has time for one, I have time for one right now before I have to go. Working but not overworking. Yep. Working in alignment, right? Like working in a way that actually moves the needle forward. Okay, I have time for one reading. So whoever books it first, I will happily do that. Work and play. Yep. How do you bring work, play, intuition, all of it into, like, how do you make your career just feel good? Is like my whole thing, and this is something that I will never shut up about. Yeah, what is the deal? Hang on, let me see my page. Okay, my page. Okay, it should be the first. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Okay, I just updated it. It didn't say anything, but okay. So there's a picture at the tippy top. There's a picture of Aphrodite, and it says "Pay for reading here," and then visit link. I just updated that because it didn't say it before. I'm so sorry. So it's the link in my bio. Mm. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I don't take that lightly. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate it. Um, it's funny because I was making a bunch of TikToks beforehand, and then oh, thank you, Alka Beauty. I appreciate you. Ooh, alkaline lifestyle. It sounds exciting. I'll shuffle your cards now. I had to take a call. What I missed. I'm about to do a reading. Alka Beauty's reading, and it's probably the last one I have time for. Unless somebody books right now, I can do two back to back. But other than that, I have to go get my sweet little baby boy after one reading, or maybe two if it's really fast. If it's booked fast. Um, bleh. Okay. What I miss? You're funny. Oh man, I need some water. Oh, dope. Thank you. Okay, so what's your question? What is your question whenever you're ready? Violet, if you're back on. Venusian career code is I gotta find a punchier way of saying this. What's next in my career? Okay. I'm about to do a Venusian career code reading, so I will demonstrate that for you. All right. Violet is your name, I assume. Sorry for saying it out loud if you didn't want me to. Gosh, okay. What is next in your career? And remember, any future projections. Will I make more money? Will money come in? Good one. Okay. Will more money come in? What's next in my career? Any future projections are always based in current energy. So if you do not like what you're getting, if you do not like something, you could always change it. Or if you don't hold the current energy and you fall down a spiral and don't remember your worth, then maybe that can change. So if your actions change, this reading can change. But this is in your current energy. Will Violet make more money? What's next in Violet's career? Come on, muses. Yeah, let me just hold my crystal for a second. Okay, ready. Four of emotions. Four. So it's like Four of Cups. Oh, hi, Grace. There's a standstill happening right now. There's a sense of like of containing yourself. So you see, this girlie is here in the cup. She is self-contained, and I just started to feel it through my whole body, a feeling of like of being squeezed. Like you get inside of you go to sit at the movie theater and you're like stuck on two sides of other people, and I was like, I better not move because then I'll jostle something. So there's this feeling of being a little bit stuck, of this feeling of a little bit being self-contained. And one thing that I ask my clients all the time is, what is the shape of the thing that you desire? And it looks like the shape that you might be stuck in is a container of your own emotion, a container of your own doing. And you remember what I was saying earlier about how your feelings want to be filled. The thing about water is that it just sits in the container that it's in. So what is the container in your life? What is the masculine energy in your life? What are the strategies and the rules in your life? Like, what is your ego saying that says it must be in this shape? And I think that the shape that you're in is what's stuck, because you want to grow. You want to, like, water can only fill the container that it's in. So we get to change the container so that the water feels supported and that it can overflow and it can bubble up. I always think about champagne, or I think about coffee. Coffee can overflow. Coffee can be wherever it wants. Coffee just needs to choose a good container. Like, I think about this a lot right here, that like these crystals that I have, this is like a little crystal goddess I got for myself when I was pregnant. They are inside of a container, and that container is beautiful and it supports them very well. Or you can be in a little tiny container that doesn't support you. So the first things first, Violet, is what are the rules in your life that are not supporting you? What are the rules in your life that make you feel stifled and make you feel, essentially, maybe how this girlie right here feels, just like hopeless, right? Okay, what's next? So that's always like the first card that comes up was like present energy card. So that's not the answer to your question, of course, but the Lovers again. The way that you get out of this is by trusting one person at a time. You don't have to revolutionize your entire social circle, but can you focus on one person at a time to get you to where you want to go? So you'll notice by now, this is not a yes or no answer, because this is not a yes or no question. I know I was created for more. How can you bring value, or like how can you build your relationship and grow the shape of your container one person at a time? How can you focus on your intimate relationships rather than like cutting your hair and getting on a Greyhound bus and never being seen again? How can you focus on your growth in one person at a time? Thank you for the rose. That's so sweet. I love roses. I have one right here and one right here. Very Aphrodite girl. Okay. One relationship at a time. I'm getting that there are so many people in your life who love you. I'm getting that perception that like people want to see you. It's just you might have some social anxiety or some social overwhelm around the rules in your life and the politenesses and the niceties and the like etiquette. So can you focus on breaking the rules one person at a time? Can you focus on expanding your Oh, thank you. Can you focus on expanding yourself by expanding your relationships? Like, think about the rules that you have with that one person. Like, can you expand them? Can you push the envelope? Can you tell that one person? Like, something that I just heard in my head was like, I have something to tell you. Like, I have a secret. This might be edgy, but let me just tell you a secret. And you're opening up intimacy with that one person, because one person becomes 100 people. It doesn't even have to be 100 people. It could be three intimate relationships in your life could change everything. Because that's the thing about Aphrodite, is that she's the goddess of love, goddess of desire, goddess of like community and all that kind of stuff. And that starts with like the heart chakra with one person, because it is very, I can say as a content creator and business owner, that it is very overwhelming to think about 50,000 people. If I think about one person at a time and bringing connection with one person, cultivating connection with one person at a time, and pushing the envelope on what's like okay. And I don't mean pushing people's boundaries. I mean like pushing the vision, holding the vision for that person and like pushing it a little bit day by day. Three of inspiration. So you'll see this girl's like walking on dominoes. Dedicate yourself to daily tiny action. I know it sounds cliche, but actually I just found huge proof of this myself just this past month of January. Take tiny action. Literally work out for like 1 day a week. Like literally work out like sorry, like 10 minutes a day. What am I saying? The tiniest action I think is what's being overlooked right now, because it's so easy to overlook the tiny action. Yeah, aren't they beautiful? I love the Muse Tarot. It's so easy to overlook the little things. It's so easy to overlook the what am I saying here? It's so easy to overlook our own power. But when you realize that you are powerful, and the discomfort that I've noticed women feel with growing their own power is the reason why we procrastinate and don't have discipline, right? Like we say, we're just not disciplined, when in reality, it just feels so scary to grow our power. One of the most common things that people ask me is like, how can I be better at saving or be more disciplined? It's because we're afraid of the cauldron bubbling over. I received that message of the tiny actions because I've been feeling so defeated. Yep. What do you have power today? Yep. 10 minutes can change your life. Yep. Every single day. I've struggled with this a lot in the past, but I made the last 3 months of my life complete and utter like insistence. Like I talk about holding the line, like just hold the line that 10 minutes a day of something will change your life. And it's radically changed. Like my business is not the same as it was 90 days ago at all. My life, my relationships, my like parenting style. And if you see it as energy first, then it can compound. Grace, if you're here, I got your reading. I might be missing the needle in the haystack. That is so interesting. Um, did that make sense, Violet? Is it Violeta? Violet. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I called you Violet, and it's Violeta. Okay, Grace. Hi. I got your reading. Violeta, how do you feel? I hope you feel complete and good. Violeta. Okay, good. I'm gonna pull one more card for you, Violeta. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. I'm gonna pull one more card for you specifically about money, because oftentimes when we ask questions about money, I always know that the answer that comes through is not, yes, you're going to get a check in the mail for $10,000 tomorrow, because that's not how energy works. But I'm gonna pull one card. I'm gonna ask specifically about money, and then I'm gonna move on to Grace. Thank you so much, Violeta. I really appreciate it. All right, this one's gonna be good. 10 of emotions. 10 of emotions is this group of people sitting under the sun. The more you tap into collective energy, the more you realize that you're not alone, and the more you realize that the cauldron bubbling and boiling is a group effort. The greatest things in life we look back on and we think we don't deserve them because we didn't muscle and hustle it the way ourselves. The greatest things in this life are never forced and made by ourselves. Our ego wants it to be that way. We want to be self-made, right? Like we want to be like the only ones. I'm sensing that there's a lot of financial shift for you in the realm of letting other people help you, letting support come in, bouncing off of other people's ideas, inviting people to help you collabs. It's Aquarius season. Like this is a collab season. I actually personally just invested in a course on like how to ask for collabs and how to pitch for collabs, because reciprocity is so fulfilling. That's like feminine energy. Money follows leaders, so you set the intention, you are the leader, and then feminine energy gets you there, and feminine energy is always in collaboration. So if you'll notice this picture, 10 of emotions, they're all like dancing under the sun because they all work together and they all have this feeling of deserving. And that doesn't mean that they have to now split the sun 10 different ways. They all get to enjoy the sun together. So don't fall into the trap that thinking that getting help means you have to split everything, because in reality there might be even more that way. I hope that was helpful. Okay, moving on. Thank you, Violetta. You are full, you are whole. I'm envisioning any attachments and cords that don't serve you being cleansed. You are full and of yourself, and you get to grow and get to make more money. Okay. So now clearing the space for Grace. That rhymed. Space for Grace. All right, Grace. I would love to know which direction to move in. I'm stuck in so many decisions, and I think I might be missing the needle in the haystack. I say, yep. Okay. All right, Grace, let me shuffle for you. I would love to know which direction to move in. I'm stuck in so many decisions, and I might be missing the needle in the haystack. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right, Grace, I hope you're still here. I just always have this like fear of people leaving. But either way, here it goes. I hope you're ready. If you want to screen record, like here I am. Okay. Eight of inspiration. Oh my God. Look at this picture. The red moon symbolizes safety and desire, and like safety in your intuitive belief in your desires, because the red is red for the chakra, right? Like the red chakra, the safety of stability, like healing the sense of stability and healing the sense of I'm not safe. The red chakra, every time you see the color red now, think to yourself, I am safe. I am safe. And underneath this moon of it's safe to feel my safe feelings, it's safe to be in my inspiration and in my ideas, there is four girlies here that immediately made me think that you're pulled in all these different directions. But what immediately this card told me as soon as I pulled it was that there is one that is leading all of them. So there is a domino that is knocking down all the other ones. So think of all, like, get the cauldron going of all of your desires. There is one that is leading all of them. There is one that's pulling the rest of them. Like there's a deep, like dark, not dark, but I've noticed in the world of like working with people, I've done hypnosis, I've done Reiki, I've done coaching, I do all the things. And I've learned over and over again that everybody has like an unconscious desire that leads all their other desires. Like, what is the root of all the things that you want to do? And that was immediately what jumped out at me. What is your like secret desire? Like, what is the thing that you really want to be talking about, that you really want to say? And that is just going to anchor in everything. So, to share a personal example, if that helps, I have been talking to the internet for like 10 years. I have been talking about everything and anything. I've been like charging for things. It wasn't until I started talking about what I really wanted to talk about, which was career and money, that things started, like, I just got honest with myself and I was like, that is what I actually want to be talking about, but I was a little too scared to, for whatever reason. Well, the reason was because it felt too personal. I just pictured the other thing behind being leader and the guide supporting the effort. Yep. Being guide supporting the effort. Yes. Because it's not like these four girlies are walking alone. It's not just one thing. It's not just one secret desire. It's all these other things that make you you and make you so excited walking behind you. Makes sense. Great. Okay, moving on. The feeling I got when I pulled that card, though, I was like, oh, the world? Hang on. The world? Let me actually like get, because this descriptor is this book is actually really helpful, so I'm going to pull this one out for the world. And I'm going to read it to you. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do this for you. She remembers the little girl she used to be, jumping off the cliff and into these unknown waters of divine magic. And now she lives here, totally at home in this ocean of creation. And she rises out of her vast universe with the world in her hands, and everything is coming to completion. All of the energy is culminating into exciting new endings of success and joy. She smiles because the closure of fruition is sweet. You've made it. Celebrate. The cycle ends. The circle closes. She asks you to enjoy this coming chapter and to witness your success that is on the way. Soon you will prepare to be the fool once more, poised for another new ocean of possibility. But first, a moment to breathe and enjoy your accomplishments. You deserve success. So I love the sentence where it says, "You're going to be the fool again. You're going to be the fool one day." Yeah, I love reading the guidebooks. This one is also really good. It's very poetic and very beautiful. Um, you are going to be the fool again. So knowing which direction to move in is so relatable. Like, I'm a Sagittarius. I love adventure. I love going and getting, right? I love that. There always needs to be a loop that's closed that is in the energy of celebration. I literally have a tattoo of a champagne bottle on my wrist to remind me that the loop is not closed until you celebrate where you currently are. So, acknowledging your ambition, like, you are ambitious. I can feel it. And the last card told me that. Can you close the loop by celebrating where you currently are at right now? Can you take yourself out to dinner? Can you pour yourself a glass of champagne? Can you get a bar of chocolate? Can you go do what you love and be like, I am celebrating this moment? Like, there's even times when I just tell myself that, like, I'm celebrating right now. This is the closing of a loop. And I've noticed that when we close loops, they tend to not repeat. You tend to shirk old habits by being like, I'm celebrating the last time that I am uh, begging for, like, but the last time that I, like, whatever habit of yours that it's like, it served me, but it doesn't, like, it's not helping me. Like, I'm getting a lot of examples that come to mind. I'm just so curious, like, which one resonates with you. I'm getting, like, money, like, spending habits. Like, the spending habit was like, I'm getting, like, friends with benefits energy. Like, this is just kind of like, this has been fun, but it's hurting us, and this is our last time. Like, this is my last time, and I'm celebrating that awareness. It's like I've graduated from this awareness, and it can send you new things. So there's a loop that needs to be closed. So I'm curious what that loop is. Thank you for sharing the live. That's so sweet. um okay, next card. The Empress. Girl, you are so powerful. You know that you can bring things into fruition. And since you said that you like the since you like the guidebook, I'll read this one to you too. The Empress is 3. Dripping with creation, the Empress strolls gracefully in her garden of ideas. She whistles tones of sacred geometry and spirals her voice into beautiful new patterns and timelines. Seeds spark, plants begin to shoot, and from somewhere across the distance, she hears the voices of singing children who are dancing their futures to life. Smiling, she pulls her hood back and showers her paths with new energy. Planets, worlds, lives, and loves spiral out auspiciously from her starseed core, and they spiral out to you. You can access this ancient creator energy and birth your creations from your most readily available resource, love. Aphrodite much? I mean, Aphrodite is the goddess of love. You are always in abundance of love. Love is an alchemy. Like, love is something that's so alchemizable. You are made of the same fairy dust and shaped from the elements that originated from deep within her Big Bang heart. Use her musings to bring your most exquisite visions to life. Her golden seeds are, after all, everywhere. Or wait, did you think those seeds were lemons? What a wonderful day to make some lemons. So much info today. Is there a way to rewatch this? That's a great question. I can download this afterwards and probably, like, email it out. I'll see what I can do. I might need, like, your email or something. Like, I would probably have to email you the recording. Okay, so back to you, Grace. Do you believe, Grace, that you can turn the power of your heart into something tangible in the 3D world? Because that is what the Empress is saying to you right now. You have a heart energy. Oh my God, there's actually, like, a documentary about this, that, like, our hearts radiate a certain frequency that create, like, an electromagnetic field around our bodies that make us attractive towards other people, or make us, like, an alignment with other things. So the way that your heart vibration is can tangibly affect the world around you. That's why it like sucks to be around certain people and it feels amazing to be around other people. Attracts and doesn't chase, because of the cultivated love in her heart. Because, okay, amazing. Synchronicity, like, that's probably why I pulled that card, was because you knew that intuitively. So do you believe that you can make something out of nothing by pulling, by being in your love, in your heart chakra, like in your heart magnetic field? So that means clearing out the heart chakras. That means clearing out the heart chakras. That means clearing out your energetic field and being in your heart, like letting your heart be a magnet. Okay. Six of Materials. I pulled this card before. Whatever you want, Grace, right now, whatever your heart is, I want you to double it, because that's how we get out of survival mode. That's how we get out of like just enough. Like I just need enough. That mindset is not helping you. Heart space is the strongest auric attractor. Yeah. Okay. Whatever your wishes for yourself are, the Six of Materials is asking you to double it. There's two of them, right? And like together they conjure up more and more and more. And getting out of survival mode and getting out of like just enough energy is going to propel you closer. So here's a great example. I went rock climbing this morning, and this analogy just like makes perfect sense to me. When I'm climbing a rock, a boulder, and I think of it as like step by step by step, and then I get stuck at a certain point where I'm like, oh, my hands are shaking, my fingers are really tired, my heart is like racing, and I'm sweating and I'm slipping. I should just give up and let go. Sometimes I look and I pick a higher point of where I want to go. So I like, instead of thinking about just the next rock, I think about one way up. And for some reason, magically, it just makes perfect sense to achieve that goal rather than just the one next to me, because it gets my body into like a state of all working together rather than like just my hand. Does that make sense? This has been amazing and it's taught me so much. Great. So there's something about doubling your goals that makes them more interesting and exciting and compelling to you, that makes you want to go after them. So if you feel like you never stick to anything and nothing's that interesting, probably double your goals. Probably. Okay. I feel like the next one is going to give you like the bow on top that you will need for this reading. Two of Inspiration. When we get quiet and when we get in our energy and in our auric field, that is when we feel so safe to dream bigger. So I sense you're ambitious, right? So getting yourself into a place, like look at this picture for Pete's sake. I love this picture. It's like white nothingness, and then in the center of it, she's looking at her telescope. When we get quiet, when we get in our peace, when we get in our like cocoon, we're able to dream bigger. So your mind might need some more quiet and less stimulation to really, really feel trust and safe with yourself to go after what it is that you really want. So overall, I guess my advice to you is like lead with your heart, find the common root of all of your goals. Like find the common root of all of your goals, put a goal around that thing, and then double it. And then let your heart lead you. I'm glad that's helpful. Okay. I gotta go. I have a Facebook group, guys, and I really want some energy in there. So if you guys are all on Facebook, can you just like be in that group and just like letting the bigger goal and excitement around it be inspiration? Yep. So I have a Facebook group. I want more people in it, and it's not that it's not cool, but it's just like, can you be in my Facebook group, please? It's in the link in my bio. I'm pretty certain. I don't think I took it down. But I want to talk about this stuff. I want to do more readings in there. I just want to like offer more of like an intimate setting in there than I can on TikTok. I do my TikTok lives, but it's like, let's stay in touch. Let's be in the Facebook group. So yeah, join my Facebook group. My whole purpose of that Facebook group is to like offer like I just want to give it like this Telegram is awesome. I'm gonna do something. Oh, I actually want to do like daily channeled readings. Like I used to do Aphrodite channeled readings from Aphrodite every day in my on TikTok. And then I was like, I have so much content, I just don't have time to do it on TikTok every day. But I want to do like a voice note somewhere every day in Telegram, or I was thinking Instagram because I want Telegram's awesome. But I'm gonna focus on Facebook and Instagram for now, and then I'll use Voxer for like my private clients. But anywho, please join my Facebook group, and then we'll do more of this kind of stuff. I would love to stay in touch with you guys. And okay, I gotta go. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, so many options. All right, ladies, love you. Oh, and Julie, if you wanted a replay on this, I can email it to you. Hi, Erin. Oh, awesome. Hi, Erin. Okay, Julie, if you wanted a replay, just let me know. Like comment or DM me or something. Like you can DM me on Instagram or something like that. Yeah, so the Facebook group is in the link in my bio. Like it's just following my bio. And it's free, obviously. Like it's just a Facebook group. It's called Career Witches. um okay. Left my email on thread. Oh, I missed some comments. I'm sorry. I didn't see your email address. You can post replays in your group. Yeah. You know what? Okay, so like TikTok does give me access to to the replays, but they're only for 30 days, so that's a great point to put them on my group. Okay. Left my email on thread. I didn't see it. Julie, if you're on Facebook, you can join and give me your email there, and I'll email it to you. Or I'm gonna post it on my Facebook group. That's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna post it on my Facebook group. So great. Cool. All right, I gotta go. But all right, love you ladies. I'll accept your requests once you get into the Facebook group. Okay, well, this has been fun. Love you. Bye.